Hello everyone, welcome to the Jyotishi Online YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about a special question that we would have asked ourselves at some point of time in life, right? So today we are going to discuss about who is God, and I'm pretty sure we've all asked ourselves this question at some point of time in life. So Anand, who is God?
So we'll start with the story. So it's a very complex question to address, and it's a very pertinent question, and all of them have this question. We'll start with a story. You heard of this story about Prahalada and Narsimha, right?
Yes.
So Hiranyakashipu, they were two brothers. So Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. So Hiranya means golden, and Kashipu means dress. So he is the king of the Rakshasas, especially the Daityas and Davanas. So the person who wears a golden dress always and wanted to conquer the entire world. So he had conquered the Indras, the Agnis, all the kings, all the big kings, and he had got a special favor from Brahma, saying that only certain characteristics of people can destroy him. So Kaya, who was his wife, had a beautiful son called Prahalada. Now, Prahalada was actually taken care by Lord Narada. So, Narada brought him in such a manner that Prahalada became a kind of a devotee to Lord Vishnu. So, he tried various ways to kind of eliminate his own son, because the son was not accepting that the father is the greatest of all. So he got psyched, and he wanted to kind of eliminate. So many times attempts he has made, and then finally there came a situation that this is a very famous story actually.
Yes.
So Prahalada says that God is everywhere.
Right.
Then Hiranyakashipu asks him whether God is there in this pillar.
Right.
He destroys that pillar. Narasimha comes.
Yes.
And that's how this Narasimha avatar comes, and this famous Ugram Veeram Mahavishnu kind of a thing. So, and finally, Mahavishnu comes as Narasimha avatar and eliminates Hiranyakashipu. So, the essence of the story is Prahalada always believes that God is everywhere. So, in English terminology, we can call it as omnipresent kind of a thing. So, coming back, so this is the essence of the story, and coming back to the Taittiriya Upanishad. So, our 10 major Upanishads are there, out of which Taittiriya Upanishad talks about the definition of God as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. So it talks about Satyam means the truth, so eternal, and Jnanam means knowledge, and Anantam means infinite. So anything which has an end is called Antam. So Anantam is an infinite thing. So for example, we will start with Anantam here. So what does Anantam means? Anantam means infinite, or Google, or whatever you call it. And then it has three dimensions: Desha, Kala and Patra. So limitations or finiteness in terms of space, finiteness in terms of time, finiteness in terms of object. So here the Upanishad defines God as anything which is infinite in these three areas.
Okay.
So anything which is infinite in terms of time. So for example, we were born at one particular year, we will go at one particular year. So we are finite.
Yes.
So the definition of God, it says, is that is, we are talking about Anantam here,
right,
which is infinite. So it is eternal, it is timeless. Second thing is infinity in terms of space. So for example, I am existing, or you are existing in this particular space, in this particular geography. So you can think about the story of Krishna and the gopis. So
right.
Krishna used to dance at the same time with 16,000 the Ras Leela,
yes,
with 16,000 gopis. So he is present here also, he is present there also.
Right.
But ours is a finite thing. So the infinity in terms of space. The third thing is infinity in terms of object. So infinity in terms of object means this is an object, or a mobile is an object, or we are an object. We are existing at this point in time here.
Right.
But from a definition of a God's perspective, it indicates that it is non-dual. So there is nothing apart from consciousness where God does not exist.
Right.
In other words, God exists everywhere.
Right.
So that are the three dimensions of Anantam, that is
Right.
infinity.
And that is where the Prahlada story also comes in,
Yes.
where he saw God everywhere.
Yes. So, in terms of keywords that you kind of derive out of this is omnipresent, omniscient, eternal,
Right.
and timeless,
Right.
and without space, and non-dual. Non-dual is
Right.
Vedantic. So that is the definition from a Anantam perspective. Now, if you take Satyam, which is eternal, so reality is
Or truth is right.
yes,
Right?
truth. So truth is actually Anantam.
Right.
It is captures the essence of the three dimensions of Anantam.
Right.
Similarly, knowledge, what we have may be finite, but
Yes.
the entire knowledge perspective is Anantam. It is
Right.
infinite.
Right.
So from that perspective, so the question comes now: if God is infinite and God is present everywhere, then God should be present here in this object. God should be present in you.
Yes.
God should be present in me as well.
Right.
So here comes the sloka from kind of Bhagavad Gita. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe Arjuna Seshtati. So Ishvara in its pure form is in the Hridaya. So from that perspective, that thou art, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. So we come to the state where I am Brahman. So the God is there everywhere. God is there in us also.
Right.
And the entire purpose of Upanishads and Vedanta study is to kind of figure out that you are different from you are no different from the
God,
eternal
yes.
God. So you are God, and the direction that you move inwards to
Right.
kind of figure this out is called
Right.
spirituality in general.
Right. Also, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras also put it very nicely,
Yes.
right? They also say that a person who is devoid of the five kleshas
Yes.
is also moving towards
Yes.
God, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
that is the methodology by which you can kind of
move in that
particular direction
right?
of
where
spirituality.
you start giving up on raga dvesha
Yes,
vexam.
yes.
Like that could be one of the ways,
Yes.
right, to
Yes.
move in that direction.
Yes.
Right, so all the scriptures have spoken about who is God in some form of the other.
Yes.
Yes.
So primarily out of the many Upanishads, 10 Upanishads are very famous.
Uh-huh.
Out of which the Brihadaranyaka and Taittreya Upanishad talk extensively about who is God, what is Brahman, how do we realize that, and those kind of things. So
Right.
primarily the definition talks from this perspective. That
Oh.
is Sat Chit Ananda.
Ananda,
That
yes.
is existence, knowledge, and finally
Right.
bliss.
Right.
Coming from the perspective that I am Brahman.
Hmm.
From that perspective.
So how does one person realize that he is God? Maybe do you want to throw
I think
some light on
we'll talk about it in the next video.
Okay.
So there are three questions here. One is who is God or what is God? Second question is how do we get there?
that? Right.
How do we get there? And the third thing is if we get there, what do we need to do?
To get there, what do we need?
Yes, to get there, what do we need
What
to
do
do?
we-
Kind of a thing. So those are the three kind of portions for
Portions
this
that-
particular.
So God is someone who is Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. Someone who is omnipresent and omniscient and the all-knower as well. If you like this episode, please subscribe to the Jyotishi YouTube channel and keep commenting and keep in touch with us for the upcoming videos. Thank you.